Yeah, I just took the Fleischmann turntable bridge apart because I was having problems again. I knew I'd have problems again at some point. I did take it apart a few years back and I did a video showing how to do it, which has been great because I can follow that and just take apart the bits that I need to, not the whole thing, which I did last time. It was a nightmare to get back. But as you can see, I took the motor out, only took the parts out that I need to, and what happens is that plastic spur gear slips on the metal shaft, so you've got to take the cap off, take the spur gear out, just using liquid thread lock, small amount, put it back on, put the cap back on, and hopefully that will stop it from spinning and against that other spur gear there. So put that back, let it look like that. Hopefully it will go back together again properly. The other simpler way around it is to, I'll just show now. Yeah, the other simpler way is to buy a full motor mechanism at £130. But what's the point in doing that when you can take the motor apart and do an easy fix? Or there's a slightly cheaper way of doing it. I'll just show that as well. There's a slightly cheaper way of doing it, and that's just buying the motor itself with the brass caps. I think they've updated the motor slightly by putting these brass fixings on rather than plastic. Well, you don't want that slipping. I don't want that slipping under stress. So yeah, £56, still a lot of money for a motor, tiny motor. But like I say, if you take that off, refit it, hopefully that should work. It's ready to go in. Well, it's in. I've slotted it in, lined it up this side, making sure the electrical lugs are underneath one side. Carefully line up the centre pivot, drop it in, and then basically just put it all back together. Put a clip on, put these bits back on, and I can test it without actually putting the circlip back on. Right, I'm going to do a 180 spin. I'm going to try it. I'll put it all back together the best I can. I'm going to do 180 spin. Yep, that's moving a lot quicker than what it was. And that's at the top speed, so I can slow that down now. The decoder. I wasn't happy with this now because it's working now before I had it on top speed, because it was lagging when it was moving a heavy loco to make sure it got to the next track. So now I'll put the motor back, it's moving a lot quicker, so I've had to slow it right down the bridge on the decoder. I've got an LDT decoder, turntable decoder, which I've just disengaged from the board underneath. So I've slowed down the potentiometer on that as slow as possible now, and I know that bridge will turn a really heavy loco with, say, all metal like this one, or you know, some of the other ones I've got which are really heavy. So that's good. You might have to, you just got to make sure you put it back exactly as you took it apart. It's really tricky to do, but I'm really chuffed with that now. It's working perfect. So I'm going to try it out with a heavy loco on slow, and what I'll do, I'll just place this particular loco on the bridge, because I know this one's a real heavy one. It's all metal. Let's give it a spin now, see what happens. I'll do a 180 spin. It's turning that with no problem at all. Do a 180 spin. Really chuffed because I've been wanting to do this for ages, been putting it off. Simple fix. A bit of a liquid thread lock has solved the problem, which costs nothing virtually. So that's that, all done. So now I'm in the process of replacing all these, the blank ones, with the rails where required, because I've never had these on before, so I'm going to move all them, put all them in. And originally I was going to have all the exits working on this turntable, all 48, but I think there's about 30 odd at the moment, or nearly 20, 27, 30, I can't remember. Just doing a 180 spin. No struggling at all, and that's at the slowest speed, which is really nice. Perfect. I'll just put on all the rest of the overruns. If you slightly shoot over on coming off the bridge in the wrong direction, obviously you can, these run-offs help. I suppose you can put buffer stops around the edge there on separate pieces of track, smaller pieces of track. You could run around there with some small buffer stops. That would look pretty good. Well, anyway, that's all done. Thanks for watching. If you're wondering what that noise is in the background, it's just got a turbo diesel out of storage, ICE. That's ready, that's all on the automation, ready to go.